everybody. This is lesson 3.2 in your colored math books, and it is on page 105. The question is asking the Smith family opened their refrigerator 32 times in one day. There are 31 days in May. About how many times is it opened in May? So let me think. What is the question asking me? About how many times is it opened in May? How many times is the refrigerator open in May? Well, the information I know is they open the refrigerator 32 times in one day, and there are 31 days in May. So, day 1, they open it 32 times. Day 2, they open it about 32 times. Day 3, they open it about 32 times. So to figure out how many times they open it in that whole month, I'm going to have to multiply. So one way I can do this is I can use rounding and mental math. When I estimate, I'm going to round each factor. I'm going to underline the 3. I'm going to draw the arrow over to the 2. The 2 is the boss, and the 2 is 4 or less. So he's going to tell the 3 to let it rest. So then the 3 yells back, change to zeros. Remember that? All right, next we're going to do the same with the next problem. Draw it under the 3. Arrow to the 1, who's the boss. The boss is 4 or less, so he is going to tell the 3 to let it rest. The 3 is going to yell back to the numbers, change to zeros. All right, so both of those numbers coincidentally became 30. Now, step 2, we're going to use mental math. So I know the basic fact, 3 times 3. If you don't know 3 times 3, you can do your 3 song. 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going to write 9 here. And all you have to do is, how many zeros do I have over here? I have 2 zeros. So I'm going to put 2 zeros. So I know 30 times 30 is 900. So the Smith family opens the refrigerator about 900 times in the month of May. Wow, that's a lot of times. All right, let's go to the next problem. The next problem is on page 106. Let me slide out the problem. Make sure you can see everything. Let me get my tool to write. All 24 light bulbs in the Park family's home are CFL light bulbs. Each CFL light bulb uses 28 watts to produce light. About how many watts will the light bulbs use when all turned on at the same time? So, about how many watts will the light bulbs use when all turned on at the same time? What information do I know? What information do I have in my head that I just read? Let me go back and look. I know that there's 24 light bulbs in their home, and each, which means to multiply, uses 28 watts. So one light bulb uses 28 watts, another light bulb uses 28 watts. And the question is asking me, if they're all turned on at the same time, how many watts will the light bulbs use when they're all turned on at the same time? Oh, your parents or family who you are live with would probably have a heart attack if they were all turned on at the same time, huh? So, let's use some compatible numbers. Compatible numbers are numbers that are easy to compute mentally. Things that you can multiply easily in your head without having to struggle at trying to find the answers. So a compatible number for this one, 24, I could change to 25. Why would I use 25? That's right, because 25 is like quarters, 25 cents. We always talk about the quarters. 28, I could just round up to 30. Remember? The 2 asks the 8 because the 8 is the boss. And 8 is 5 or more, so you're going to add 1 more. Now I'm going to use mental math when I find this. Mental math. 3 quarters would be how much money? The quarter's 25, so don't forget, 25 times 3. I always think of quarters when I use the 25. 3 quarters would equal 75 cents. So how much would 25 times 30 be? 75. And then I'm going to put my 0. Just bring that 0 over. So about 750 watts are used. Let me get out. Here's another problem that they did. And it is problem A on page 106. Round to the nearest 10. So this would change to 30 because they're telling you to round to the nearest 10. And this would change to 80. Whoops, sorry, that 8 just looks a little crazy. I know that 3 times 8, again, I could sing my 3 song. 3 times 8 is 24. And I could add 2 zeros. That would be the rounding to the nearest 10. If I did that same problem with compatible numbers, remember, compatible numbers are numbers that are easy to compute mentally. So easy to figure out. I could change 26 to 25. And I could change 79 to 80. So if I had 8 quarters, how much money would I have? 8 times 25 would be 200, like 200 pennies. And then I'm going to add the 1 0. So 26 times 79 is about 2,000 if you did the compatible numbers. Remember, we weren't looking for exact here. We were looking for about. So 26 times 79 is about 2,400 or about 2,000. It's right around in there. All right. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Bye.